So I think we ask ourselves a question like when things like this feel really bad, we ask the question, do things like boycotts work? And you look at like Target as an example of like a boycott. Does it matter if Target feels the pain of their bad decisions? Are boycotts effective? Is it working? As this empty Target shows you, boycotts do work. Target built itself on being a brand that was on the like cutting edge of equality and diversity. Come as you are. We have cool stuff for you. But all they really did was want to like sell us things. And as this empty Target shows, all they ever really did was want our money. If CEOs and companies and our politicians won't stand up for us, then it's time that we do that as well, even if it's just with our wallet. When you make it not cool to shop at a place like Target because of the harm that they have caused, that sends a powerful message, not just to Target, but to other people and other companies as well. I can assure you, it is working. Keep it up.
Wow, Target is completely empty. And I'm loving it.
So I came in this morning, they put me up in OPUs because they didn't want to schedule any actual fulfillment team members because somehow a multi-billion-dollar company say they ain't got enough payroll for them. But they got enough payroll for 8 brand new RFIDs that's going to cost you a few $1,000s. But it's not like we don't need them because this is what the fitting room is looking like. It is just clothes everywhere. It is carts on carts that are just overflowing with stuff. And not to mention our back room over here is just pallets of repacks that are full from clothes from today to a few weeks ago. I mean, it's hard enough trying to find the stuff with an RFID. Imagine trying to find it without one of them. Now, our store is just a complete disaster. I mean, there is just stuff everywhere. Even with the truck line being full, the floor is full of U-boats and flats and pallets that are just lined up down all of the aisles back here. There's just no room for anything. And oh yeah, I forgot about this one. Let's play a game called Find the Fire Extinguisher. Yeah, no you can't. It's behind all the fucking boxes. Not to mention the powdered cat litter that's about to fall right above it. And then you got the other side of our back room that is just full of U-boats and flats of backstock and poles from I couldn't even tell you how long ago. Not to mention just the random pallets of stuff and even the signing pallets back here because it ain't gonna fit in the fixture room because this is what the fucking fixture room looking like. Someone please send some help over to this store.
Guys, tell me why my mortgage went from, don't judge me here, $3,200 a month to $5,600 a month. Backstory here is I was looking for a house back in 2022, and I put in offers on multiple homes. So we decided to go, I'm sorry, they got declined, and they wanted 50 to 60 grand over asking price for the homes with no contingencies and all that kind of stuff. Long story short, I bought a new home with Ryan Homes. The worst decision I've ever made in my life, I swear to God, and I am paying for it till right now. Long story short, I'm actually selling that home right now. Bought a mortgage with Ryan Homes, and I am the last house that's built on this subdivision, the absolute last house. When I signed on the dotted line, my mortgage was 32 and some change. And I was fine with that because that's what I expected, the size of the home, X, Y, Z, yada, yada, yada. Come to find out that, again, I had a realtor during this time, but with new construction, Ryan Homes doesn't pay the realtor a commission. So I was like, well, okay. I'm not going to ask him to come in and do any kind of work because he's not going to get compensated for it. So I let him know what I was doing, and then ended up being no realtor. So anyway, next thing I know, I get the first tax bill on the property with land. I mean, on the property with the home build. The taxes were $16,000. $16,000. So that, and that's not not the half of it. So I then go call like, hey, is this right? Is this correct? Like, yeah, that's your correct property taxes. We're not sure why, but Ryan Holmes should did your estimate based off what your taxes could be on the home because you're the last home built. So there's plenty of comps in the area that they can use as, hey, your taxes could be this. However, they use taxes off the land because it's going to show you a cheaper mortgage. Okay. So I'm like, okay, so what do you have to do? Well, you got to pay them, so your property taxes go up. Okay. The next part of this is that being that my property taxes will be this, and being that the property taxes were underestimated for that year of 2023, I believe it was. Now my escrow account is negative $11,000. My escrow account is negative $11,000 because Ryan Holmes only used property taxes on the land. So now I not only have to get my current property taxes updated into my mortgage. Now I have the rears back taxes in my mortgage. People, when I tell you, I almost lost my shit. I did lose my shit. I'm not gonna lie. I lost my shit. I completely lost my shit because this is something they don't tell you about new construction. And people will say, "Oh, you should have had your realtor. You should have your attorney." And that I guess I take the hit on that because I'm thinking I'm not going to use my realtor who I've been using to show me these houses because Ryan Holmes, they don't pay a commission off the sale. So I'm like, man, that doesn't that's not right. I'm not going to use my realtor to come in and do free work. I'm going to pay out of pocket for my realtor. And then I don't, it was, yeah. So mortgage went from 32 to 5,600 a month. And I'm like, yo, this can't be right. So now I'm looking up property taxes in Libertyville and Vernon Hills on houses that are places, nicer areas than this. This is Antioch, Illinois. No knock against Antioch, but it's not Libertyville. It's not Vernon Hills. It's nothing. There's no restaurants. I mean, there is a few, but it's not built out like that. The infrastructure isn't in place like those places is. And I'm just kind of like, what the? So, long story short, I know I said that before, but this fast forward. I'm sorry saying that. Fast forward. Unfortunately, the home that I thought I was going to be in for 7, 10 years that my kids would grow up in, I'm selling. I'm selling that home because we can't afford it, and I refuse to be house poor and paying for a house that I'm just trying to keep up with. There's no way possible I'm going to. And let me say this too: is that the mortgage will end up being, even if I didn't have the taxes in the rear escrow account, the mortgage will still end up being I did the math. It was like 4,000 something a month, right? Because my more principal and interest was like 27. The property tax was like another 13 something. So it's like 4,100 a month. No, no, absolutely not. I refuse to pay $4,100 on a house, property taxes that amount, and you don't have anything to go off of. So, yeah, guys, if you are thinking of doing new construction, if you are thinking going with a Ryan Holmes, if you are thinking going with any new construction, any new development, specifically Ryan Holmes, make sure that you look on that paper and it doesn't say when it says taxes. Make sure you ask them, is this property on the house after it's built what it could be or before? Because if you see something that says, unless you're in a different area, stuff like that, I get it. I'm in Antioch, Illinois. If you see something that's like $2,000 or $3,000 of property taxes, make sure you ask them, hey, is this on before the house is built or after the house is built? Because they can estimate what your taxes are going to be based off what they sold you the house for. Right? They can do that. So will they? Probably not. But again, Ryan Holmes. because you screwed me. You have effed over my life, and this has set me back tremendously. I did a lot of hard work to build my credit, save money for a home, and I just feel like I just gave it away because it's crazy. There should be something in the laws that says new construction builders should have to show you property taxes on what the home value, what your property taxes are going to be, because that would change everything. That would change your mortgage. That would change everything. And I would have told them, no, I'm good. I'm not buying this. I'm gonna keep looking. But it is what it is. Looking for a new home. Here's to chapter 2, starting all over again.
My mortgage payment went from $1,600 to $3,500. This is all I have been seeing going on my timeline on TikTok right now, on how everybody's mortgage rates are increasing. Honestly, I can tell you what, when I first bought my house and I had a realtor, my realtor did not tell me anything. I bought the house. I didn't know what I was doing. I was not a realtor then, of course. And I did not learn about my payment until the closing day. I did not know how much my mortgage payment was going to be until the closing day. And I signed on the dotted line. At that point, for me, I was ready to buy a house. So I just felt like it was what it was. Unfortunately, my mortgage payment is $1,600 and it's still $1,600. But I guess my question is, for everyone's mortgage that's going up, like, I know it's a terrible situation, but also when you are purchasing your homes, are you not understanding what questions to ask your lender? Because you can always ask your lender when you go under contract on a home to show you what your monthly payment is going to be. Of course, it's going to be an estimate, but also at the closing table, when the attorney is going over how much you're going to pay for your mortgage, and they give you a piece of paper that has all your mortgages for however many ever years that you have to pay your mortgage for. At that time, when you're signing your papers, don't just sign the papers, just ask questions that you may have about your mortgage. Because once you sign and close on your home, that's your home. And then years down the line, you're looking at, you have to sell your home. So it's like unfortunate. Of course, property tax always goes up. So, I mean, that could be another question. When you're buying a home, ask about the property tax. Another thing that could kill you is incentives. Sometimes it's good to have incentives on new construction homes, but sometimes it's not, especially when you're doing the 2-1 buy down. Basically, when your interest rate is going to be one price for 1 year, it's going to go up the next year, and then it might go up the third year. Ask what your mortgage rate is going to go up to for the third year. You might can afford the house for year 1 and 2, but if you can't afford it for year 3, then what's the point of getting the incentive? Like, don't just go looking into a new construction because they're giving you $10,000 and they're giving you a 2-1 buy down, because you might be the next person where you're going to be saying, my mortgage payment was $1,500 and now my mortgage payment is $2,500 because my realtor didn't tell me this or the lender didn't tell me that. Like, you also have to do your own research when you're purchasing a home. I don't know, like, what questions do y'all have as far as purchasing a home, as far as property tax, as far as your mortgage going up? Like, you have to do your research, and you definitely have to ask questions before you sign on that dotted line, whether it's the day of closing and you have more questions for the lender, but you don't want to ask them because you're too excited. Always remember, you have to be the ones to pay the bills. Your lender doesn't have to pay the bill. Your realtor don't have to pay the bill. At the end of the day, you have to pay the bill, and you have to be the one out on the street. If you have to sell your house or what may have you, it might not even be worth selling your house, depending on how long you have been in your house. So you might not even have as much equity. But the tip of the day is, make sure you ask your lenders questions at the beginning and at the end. They always send out multiple disclosures of estimates for your mortgage. And also ask the closing attorney, because the closing attorney also goes over everything before you close on your new home.
I have